Our emphasis was always survival, and now that's changed. It's actually surviving with the best possible outcomes. There's truth in the saying, it takes a village to grow a child.
If you've ever met family who have experienced an early birth and have gone through the trials of having a child in an incubator for weeks and weeks, you'll understand the importance of what we're about to undertake.
I would have never thought that a pound and a half, 2-day-old, 4-day-old, couple-month-old child could teach me things that they didn't even know they were teaching.
She went from a pound and a half.
Came home at 6.5, but it wasn't just Scarlett they took care of of us.
They called her the delinquent debutante in the NICU. She just was a bit of a handful. Like, she had her own mind.
Sassy.
She was like, she was very spirited, I guess is the way to put it, and she still is.
Scarlett was born on Sunday, August 6th, and it was a whirlwind. We didn't know what to expect, and we got a lot of different stories as to what could happen.
Really premature. At the time my water broke, I was only 23 weeks and 5 days.
I remember very clearly looking at Brad when I was in the OR and asking him how they were doing. And he looked at me and said, "They're doing great." And it wasn't until later on I found out, as I asked the question, they were actually reviving our son Rome.
The very first thing she did, as tiny as she was, she let out a big cry. And our world changed.
Every single child that comes through the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit is a reason for us to be inspired to absolutely do everything we can to ensure that, this child has the greatest potential for a normal life.
Many, many years ago, when the babies admitted in the NICU, parents often felt like a stranger or visitors because they did not have the opportunity to hold and cuddle what any parents, mom or dad, would have expected before the baby was born. What we are finding now is that we are allowing the parents to come in, involved with their children as if they were at home.
Our nurses were like bulldogs for Scarlett. I mean, they have a whole army for these babies. It's some of the worst moments of your life, and you have these amazing people sitting next to you that just take that on themselves as well. Like, a bad day for us is a bad day for them.
I've had kids that just come and they do this, and you just lift them up, and it is an absolutely overwhelmingly emotional moment, because this child would have probably fit in my palm, and all of a sudden I have this child who is in my arms, and I know it's somebody else's kid, but it's very much mine as well.
My generation has a responsibility to give back to the next generation and make it better. We need to increase the number of physical beds for those children. We need to create spaces for moms and other family members. And we need to complement that with a space for researchers.
What research allows us to do, it allows us to really test new things, to see what's working and what isn't, and to really change the care that we're receiving based on current best standards to make sure that the right baby is getting the right care at the right time. And our goal is to change the stats. We want to lower the rate of preterm birth in Alberta to make it at or lower than the Canadian national average. And we have some really exciting opportunities for how we can do that.
The post-NICU care is a really important component of this campaign. While it's incredibly important to focus on the health of the babies while they're in the NICU, once they leave, we still need to continue with good follow-up programs for the baby.
We need to be contemporary, but we also need to be ready to meet the needs and the challenges for the foreseeable future.
When a child is born that early, you have difficulty thinking about what's going to happen next for her because you're so worried about what's going to happen today. And the NICU is the reason we were able to think about tomorrow and next week and next month, because that's how they talked to us. And that's how they treated her. And they let us know that we could rely on them. And they were a safety net at a time when we really needed it.
Until the day we die, we will love that place. It gave us our 3 kids, and it's so amazing now to look at our family and see all that they've become, and it's all thanks to the doctors and nurses in the NICUs here in Calgary.
The expectation is that we will be part of the process of ongoing research here at the Foothills and globally as partners with other collaborators in terms of looking for better ways, continually exploring better ways of delivering care to newborn infants, with the singular hope that these interventions and innovations is going to bring about the very best for outcomes for these babies. These children are our future, and so our investment in them is actually an investment in ourselves.